Tyshawn Jones is the winner of 2022 SOTY, and everybody's mad. Let's talk about that a little bit. So there's two sides to it here. There's a side of people that are really excited that Tyshawn won, and there's an even larger group of people that are more upset about him winning and saying Nyjah should have won. So I want to talk about that a little bit, then I'll kind of throw you my thoughts at the end. First off, how the hell did Tyshawn Jones win is what the average person seems to be saying on the internet. Well, there's a lot of things that go into this. First off, everyone is upset because he has already won SOTY, so they were saying give someone else a chance. Real quickly before I dive into like his skating, there was a clip that went out last night. It suddenly popped up of him doing a backside flip like this over the train tracks. I saw a very uncut version of it that I can't seem to find anymore. So that was crazy. And a lot of people are commenting saying, well, hey, he did the kickflip over the subway station and he's got a lot of crazy pop and there's a lot of different variations of tricks throughout his part. And when you go back and you look at parts like his Hardy's part, there's moments like this where he's blasting a massive back 180 over this thing that like nobody's even ollied, which is really gnarly. And the dude just has a lot of different aspects to him when it comes to style. He's a really, really good skater. And so I don't want to take that away from him. I think, you know, you can look at it and say, hey, he does deserve SOTY. And there's a lot more parts and things like that that go into it, such as like, I was reading comments of people talking about, well, who's showing up to events? Who's knowing these people? Who's got this going on? So it's like a lot of different elements outside of just the parts that I think goes into SOTY. Now that I can't confirm, but I do know some people that, you know, I know personally, they're going to look at this and say, he did this, he did that, and this is what's going on, you know, not on YouTube and da-da-da. You know, I don't know what they're going to say because I'm not there to participate in that. When you look at it on the other hand, he's skating a lot of like big hubbas, doing like flip into stuff like this. And you look at it and he's doing a lot of like nollie tricks like this, which are so gnarly. And you know, a lot of people look at that and they say, well, Nyjah's skating even bigger sets, his part's longer, he's got a lot more variation. Nyjah hasn't won. What's going on? So this is where I'm going to quickly talk about Nyjah Huston. We went over Nyjah Huston's part on my channel. We watched that video. And hey, look, I'm not the biggest fan of Nyjah. I'm not like going to be rooting for him at any moment. I think he's a great skater. He's put out a crazy part that obviously displayed what he's capable of. It got a lot of people that weren't even Nyjah fans to be like turning their head to it to say, wow, that's sick that he like went hard in the streets because everyone's used to seeing him as a contest skater. Now, this is where I want to read through some comments. This person said, you know, he's got a lot of respect for Tyshawn and the front blunt at the pier was crazy. But this person wrote, Nyjah's been putting in video parts together while winning major contests over the past 2 or 3 years. Is his style a little whack? Perhaps to some, but I look at it as his own way of doing things. And some people were saying, you know, all he does is switch heels and crooks. But down here he says, how about the switch front tail and regular back tail down at 19 or 20? That 3-piece on the green hub, which appears to be back-to-back. The kink backside crook 180. Yeah, I've never been a Nyjah fanboy, but the dude put in some serious work in the past few years and somehow escaped broken bones and death with some of those slams and tricks. Yeah, there was a lot of gnarly moments, whereas like I literally said, he could have just fallen off and completely died. Like he was quite literally playing the game of skate or die, as I mentioned in my video. I look at that and I think to myself, yeah, you know, there was a lot more going on in Nyjah's parts, but does this come down to time and time again when SOTY's called, everybody always gets mad at the winner. But this time is a little bit different because there's a higher majority of people that are saying Nyjah should have won this because, you know, A, he hasn't won. B, there were people that were like, wow, that street part was insane. You go down here and you look at this comment of someone saying, wow, straight sleeping in Nyjah because he doesn't fit the brand. Really, Thrasher? Dude had the most rounded, best part of all time. And someone said, damn, Thrasher, he used to be cool. Nyjah should have had that one for sure. And you got 238 likes on this. You got 149 likes on this. It's crazy. Tyshawn is rad, and I'm not a big Nyjah fan, but this shows that SOTY is total. As we went through that part on my channel, you saw Nyjah just hucking it down these gnarly sets. He's hitting rail after rail. And not just like 8 rails or 10 rails. Like, dude's going down like 20s and down like 15 stair rails. Like, the most gnarly stuff back to back to back. And it, like, sure, I made the argument that it all kind of blends in, it feels the same. And I saw a couple other people who made that argument. But at the end of the day, like, as a bunch of my friends texted me and said, hey, that part was undeniably good. And they're right. I can't argue that. They're right. That was a very good part, as much as, you know, I would want to pick on him. Someone down here said, Thrasher lost all credibility. Don't get me wrong. Tyshawn's an incredible skater and had an amazing year. However, the level of parts that Nyjah dropped this year is something we may never see again. He completely destroyed it in the streets. I don't care what Thrasher thinks. Nyjah is the real SOTY this year. Dude skated flat ground pretty much exclusively and beat someone dropping hammers on 20 stair rails. You know, someone down here said maybe trick of the year, but Nyjah definitely deserves SOTY. You know, to wrap it up, where do I stand with this? I personally think a couple different things. Number one, I don't know why they haven't ever included, like, any women in SOTY at the end of the year. I think that's a little bit crazy. There's a lot of women out there that are absolutely killing it. Number two is I'm also wondering how this happened so quickly. I feel like this call was made, like, very abruptly. But my other thing here is I think there should have been 2 or 3 different winners at the end, and it should be put into, like, different categories as opposed to just, like, one winner. I think one winner is a lot, and I think SOTY is kind of, like, too hyped up. There should just be, it either shouldn't exist or a couple people should win, because at the end of the day, it's going to piss people off. There's going to be a majority of people that are hyped on it. You know, obviously it's a really cool feeling for the person who won. And, you know, a lot of people are excited about Tyshawn winning. You know, you come down here in the comments of his post, and a lot of people are saying, hey, congrats, well deserved. And, you know, I'm not going to take that away. And, you know, I'm not going to take that away from him. He absolutely killed it. And, you know, he deserved it. You and Chris Cole, the only 2 people to win twice, and that's epic. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, you know? There's a lot of good things to his parts when you dissect it. But like I said, I think on top of the parts, there's more to it that, you know, I don't know what that argument is. Overall, SOTY is a really weird dynamic. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. I think there just should have been a couple winners across the board. So hit that subscribe button if you're new here for more videos like this. And hit that like button. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.